World News Alas 8.
I am Francis Riudique, and here are the latest stories. Israel stops Gaza-bound ship Madlin, carrying prominent activists, including Greta Thunberg. This was a supposed attempt to deliver basic humanitarian aid, such as rice and baby formula, to Gaza before those on board were detained. Here's the full story.
Israel has intercepted the humanitarian aid ship named Madlin, heading for Gaza, carrying pro-Palestinian and prominent activists such as Swedish climate activist Greta Thunberg, Game of Thrones actor Liam Cunningham, and French member of the European Parliament Rima Hassan, among others. Defense Minister Israel Katz have forewarned the crew to turn back, as Israel would not allow anyone to break its naval blockade of the Palestinian territory, aiming to prevent the transfer of weapons to Hamas. In Katz's post on X on Sunday, he warned that he instructed the Israel Defense Forces to prevent the vessel from reaching the shores of Gaza and to take whatever measures are necessary to that end. The Freedom Flotilla Coalition, on the other hand, said that the ship, which departed Sicily on Friday, was prepared for the possibility of an Israeli attack. They asserted that the ministry's statement is unlawful use of force against civilians and the blockade is illegal. The Madlin is said to be carrying a quantity of basic aid, including rice and baby formula. Israel has already detained those on board and is taking them to Israel. Francis Riudique, reporting for Golden Nation Network.
Meanwhile, a 6.3 magnitude earthquake struck central Colombia on the morning of June 8, with its epicenter near Paratebuena in Sundinamarca at 8:08 a.m. local time. The quake felt as far away as Bogota, Medellin, and Cali, caused tall buildings in the capital to sway, triggered sirens, and sent thousands of residents fleeing into the streets and parks. In Paratebueno, partially collapsed structures, including a church, were reported, though no deaths were confirmed, and officials continue assessing minor damages in surrounding villages. Authorities are monitoring several aftershocks, with disaster response team deployed, and remind residents that central Colombia lies within a high seismic activity zone along the Pacific Ring of Fire. On other news, for 3 consecutive days, violent protests have erupted in Los Angeles following immigration raids that resulted in dozens of arrests, primarily targeting undocumented migrants and alleged gang members. Here's the full details.
For the third day in a row, Los Angeles remains gripped as protests continue due to the reported recent immigration raids and mass detentions. Demonstrators got enraged over the detention of undocumented migrants and alleged gang members, torched self-driving cars, blocked freeways, and clashed with the police in the downtown area. The unrest escalated as authorities deployed flashbangs and smoke grenades to control crowds, while containment lines were drawn to keep protesters away from federal buildings. President Donald Trump deployed National Guard troops to California, and the decision drew sharp criticism without the governor's consent. Governor Gavin Newsom called it a serious breach of state sovereignty, accusing Trump of tensions for political purposes. This marked the first such federal move since 1965, and many local officials, including former Vice President Kamala Harris, labeled it as a provocative and dangerous escalation. While Republicans defended the deployment as necessary for restoring order, many demonstrators viewed the military presence as an intimidation tactic aimed at silencing dissent. Residents expressed concern over the treatment of migrant communities and their right to protest. Though immigration crackdowns have sparked protests in other cities, the scale and intensity of the Los Angeles unrest represent the strongest backlash yet against Trump's immigration policies. Francis Riudique, reporting for Golden Nation Network.
We are the voice for change. We will keep on bringing updates and the latest stories. I am Francis Riudique. Watch these stories on NewsForce.
World News Alas 8.